Welcome everyone. Today we're gonna analyze the Bitcoin price and try to figure it out what it's going to do and then different time frames for the next couple of days. So if you like this kind of video, just subscribe to the channel, give a like, and you're gonna be helping the channel to grow. At the same time, you're helping Bitcoin algorithm to just go around and help more people to find a way to unfuck themselves. So we're gonna start with the weekly chart, and it's just incredible to see how Bitcoin is given if we enter to a third world war or not. Well, at the end, nothing happened. Apparently, the countries they just ceasefire, and now you can see this big candle that happened with or without the new, actually without the new. So Bitcoin, we have been saying all the time that since March, since May, we have this big consolidation with Bitcoin have been respecting the whole time. We are super bullish in the weekly. Then now we can see all this retracement, which is completely fine after all this big candle, positive bullish candle we have last week. Well, we were talking in the daily chart, we were just mentioning that we had this bullish diversion. The straight line was in a negative position, and this means that in any moment can turn bullish and go with a lot of strength in the upper side. But in this case, it's not what is happening. We can see how we having all these green valley, which means the positive or bullish direction, but we don't have any strength. That's why we just see the Bitcoin price consolidating in the daily and doing nothing. What is more likely to do is to maybe go and test the 105 or 103. This would be just to shake off more paper hands, and at the same time it will be having a higher high. Well, actually that doesn't really matter in a consolidation. We're just gonna be up and down, up and down, up and down, having liquidations for the longs and for the bears until we have different indicators showing bullish continuation pattern. And the 4 hours, you can see already what potentially will happen in the daily. We can see this diversion here, bearish diversion right there, information, and this one just right here. But of course, we don't see any strength as I was mentioning. So either we continue consolidating, or we're gonna come to this area just to liquidate more people. So there's nothing you really need to worry, because if you're in the long term, like most of us should be, the price is gonna go up from here, and in the short term you don't really need to worry about it. So in the weekly, we're perfectly fine preparing ourselves for the next month in order to explore the higher highs. And you know, if you want to trade and make any profits in the market, and the 4 hour chart is for the couple days, you know, you can use Bitfinex where you don't need KYC. You can go long or short. They have the best tools at the moment in the market in order to help you to be profit. Just remember to manage your risk and protect your wealth. So I wanted to start this time again with this Meta Planet, which is gonna be pretty insane. They have been just behind, following all the steps of Michael Saylor and the MicroStrategy company. They have acquired 1,000 more BTC. I have been mentioning quite a lot because they're also quite relevant right now. How institutions and companies, they just absorbing all the bitcoins that still are out there. And I have been pushing a lot that that's the reason why you should start getting, because at a certain point it will be really difficult to get more Bitcoin. Now we can see that in matter of a few weeks, this company expand to a total of 350,000 Bitcoins, and now ranks among the top 5 public holders. As we can see here, we have the number 1 with 597,000. Wow, that's crazy. MicroStrategy is not micro anymore. Now they just call strategy. Then you have Riot Platforms and MetaPlanet. No, there's from Japan, so current relations from them. It's just so funny because you don't see. Oh yes, here you see one from Germany, but you don't see too many European companies right here. France, well, just a few ones. And it's crazy as well, like Exodus. I didn't know they were collecting more Bitcoin, but they're in the position 21 with 2,000, which is, I mean, for a small company like them, is already a big number, to be honest. Something really crazy I wanted to point out. This happened on Friday, if I'm not wrong. Something the Central European Bank is doing, which is pretty insane, and it's so interesting to see how the retail people, most of the people, the population, we completely ignorant in finance, because nobody really pay attention until you start to research and learn about how money works, how this completely GAN's financial structure put you in a position of being poor, pretty much, and doing whatever they want with your money without your consent. And it's really insane to see that nobody really care about it, or nobody is completely aware of that, and these things just happen and nobody talk about it. This was a message they put on the X account. That was the 27th of June 2025. There is an urgent need to channel retail savings into capital markets to develop those markets and finance EU priorities. An EU savings standard could increase retail participation without asking you. Because do you want your money to be participating in the stuff they want and their agenda? That's the big question, no? Benefit saver, boosting investment and supporting strategic priorities. And here's the translation, was pretty much posting after that. They want to play with your savings to fund their own priority. It is not about your future, it's about their agenda. And never was Bitcoin so relevant like in this moment, because it is really insane. Like, you don't need to be directly exposed and do bad things. So maybe you want to participate, you want peace for the world, and you don't want to participate in any war. You're just neutral, in any side, like everybody should do, because at this time in this century we should not be voting for destroying another human life. But even you, whatever ethical you have, and in the most positive way, you don't want any, in the best situation, you don't want any war in this world, you will be indirectly apporting for that. Let me show you why. And he is something that Angelo was posting, what is so insane to see. Here was this bar. Let me see where it's about the defense. Yeah, here it is. So there we find here something that Bruno Le Maire, French finance minister, quote in February 2023, in February 23 and 24, mobilize all the savings of Europeans that are currently dormant in European bank accounts to finance the future, including Europe defense effort. So pretty much all the energy you put in order to work and make savings for you, for yourself, for your future, for your family, for the children, so for everything you want to have later, all that energy are just dormant. They just see like something there doing nothing. You completely forgot about it. They no meaning about it. So it's just laying out there and you completely forgot. We're gonna take that money and we're just gonna use it for defense. They never ask you for that. And the only way you have to protect and to be against these corrupt things they do is Bitcoin, because it's completely decentralized. There's no way they can touch it. So you can just be, even if you live in the European Union, you just beside the lines, you just observing, and that is the best thing you can do in these situations. Let me show something else. They will be finance the deficit and huge defense investment of 800 billion euros from the people's saving accounts. Ursula von der Leyen, she say also something in March 11, 2025, which is say, we will turn private savers into much needed investment. It's so insane. They had been just screaming it all and like all this and last year, and there is no really it's no big news, you know. There is this guy as well, this ESM managing director Pierre Gramerna, who say the idea of a savings and investment union aims to bring more Europeans into the capital market. Savers should be able to achieve better returns on the saving, and companies should be better financially condition. Who is this guy to say that they're gonna achieve better returns on your savings? I mean, whatever politician, whatever idiot is saying that, you know, it's completely a scam. They don't have any idea of what they do, and they just want to take your money and use it as they want, you know. Yeah, so this is really interesting. If you wasn't informed about it, now you are. And yeah, you should just move your money and put it in Bitcoin, because there is no, for me, there's no way to participate in this kind. If I would believe in it, I wouldn't like my money to be used to defense, but actually this defense is just to use it for war and for the really dirty mind of these dinosaurs like Ursula and Christina. Like they completely pro-war, and they're really authoritarian regimes that you should just don't be part of that. And that would be my advice to you. Here's another one. This is something I would just wanted to confirm, because the photo looks a little bit not too real, but actually the post was real. And here what they say, Europe has whether it is a dinosaur, Ursula say, Europe has all it needs to take the lead into the competitive race. This month the EU Commission will unveil the European Savings and the investment unions will turn private saving into much needed investment. The private saving into much need investment, because if you save your money, it's no fine. If you save your money, they know how to use your money, the money you work for. They know exactly how to use it. You know, how insane is that? Your money, they know the best way to investment, because you're just an idiot and you just put in your money laying down in the bank. And that's why they're just gonna take it. They don't even ask you. They just have the right to do it. and that's the democracy we live in this world, no? And we will work with our institutional partners to get it off the ground. How many returns you gonna get of that? How many return the population of Europe gonna get that? You don't gonna get anything in return. You're just gonna get more inflation. You're just gonna get more expensive gas because they're just supporting a war in Ukraine. You're just gonna get a lot of products like more expensive because they don't really utilize the money how they should, and everything is just getting crazy and crazy. Now jumping a little bit to something a little bit different. This is so good for me to basically translate as well what Trump is saying here. He say, for all costs cutting Republicans, of which I am one, remember, you still have to get reelected. Don't go crazy. We will make it all up. Times 10 would grow more than ever before. Basically, what he's saying is that nothing stopped this train. He pretty much busting this because they don't want to make records. They don't want to cut the spendings the government have, and it's so insane that like exactly say that nothing can stop the train, just at least we get reelected, but we can really stop it, but just don't do any stupid move, no? It is crazy words. And just to finish, I wanted to show you this video with Chamat actually explained how one Bitcoin could reach over 500k per coin by October. Let's see what is his prediction on.
You should really look at the pattern of Bitcoin after a halving. So here's a little Bitcoin price analysis for you guys. So there's been a couple of halving cycles that have happened, and I asked him to go back and look at the price performance 1 month after a halving, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months after a halving. And what you notice is that there are these moments initially where essentially when you go through a Bitcoin halving, people are sort of reassessing what's happening and they're trying to figure it out. That's sort of what I would say happens in the first month, and roughly what also happens in the first 3 months. But then within 6 months to a year and 18 months of these things, there are these crazy price appreciation cycles that happen. So that's what this page shows, which is, 18 months after the first halving, the Bitcoin price returned 45x. After the second halving, it returned almost 28x. And after this third halving, it returned almost an 8x. Which is really incredible returns in such a short period of time. If you go to the next page. And so if you graph that, this is what it starts to show, which is what is this price performance after each of these halving cycles. Now, why is that interesting? Well, it's interesting because on top of this halving, which theoretically, if history is a guide, we should see some price appreciation. Obviously, the other thing that's happened is we've commercialized Bitcoin. And we talked about this sort of as my big prediction for 2024, which is these ETFs are really going to allow Bitcoin to cross the chasm and have its sort of central key moment, right? And so if you apply the averages, and again, these are just averages, they're by no means predictions. Okay, so I just want to qualify that.
Yeah, this is not financial advice.
It's not financial advice. These are just guesses. Data. We took these and we applied it to the price of Bitcoin. And if you go to the next page, you start to see what could happen if you just take the average of the last few cycles. So because the first cycle was so extreme, and you start to...
so you're just doing cycle 2 and 3 here, to be clear.
Just the averages of cycle 2 and 3, and what you start to see is some really meaningful appreciation. And when I talked to Wences about this, how he explained it, which makes a lot of sense to me, is there are a lot of countries that will never look at Bitcoin credibly, even if they support it. The US may be one of those. But there is an increasing body of countries that will become dual currency. And they will look at their local currency and then they will look at Bitcoin. And they will say both of these two things are needed. One, when you're transacting on a daily basis for random goods and services. And two, when you need to buy a permanent asset that needs to have residual value, you'll use something like BTC. And I think that's a very powerful concept. And if you look at what this price chart could indicate, is that if this thing starts to get to these levels of appreciation, it is going to completely replace gold and start to become something that has transactional utility for hard assets. And I think if you marry that with this worry that some folks have about dollar debasement, you start to see some really interesting opportunities. You should really...
Well, I won't say much about his prediction, but first I want to see the price go to this prediction I have since July last year, which again is this the last wave from Elliott. At the time was around 120. Now, of course, I have him saying already that this prediction is the same, the last wave, but we can go even higher, which is around 135, 150. First, I would love to see the price there, and then we can see in the charts what actually the price is heading to, and then we see how realistic is that. Just let me know what you think, if we're going to 150 or we go straight to 500. Yeah, that's it for today. See you next time.